Down in Thumpstar again. This video is on brake assemblies. We have front and rear brakes in front of us here. So we're just going to give you guys some measurements and show you a few things and differences between each one. So the first one we're going to talk about is the rear brake. All the rear brakes are pretty similar. They're all a single piston caliper. All the Thumpstars have the 15mm axle here, so this plate will mount basically any 15mm axle bike. And then here you'll see the brand is HSK. All our front and rear brakes are normally the HSK brand, which we've used for a number of years and we've found it to be one of the best. So we're going to give you some measurements. Get the measurement here. So we've actually pre-measured these cables because it's quite difficult, as you can see, to get it nice and straight. So we'll just tell you the length that we've measured exactly. So the length of this cable is 850mm or 85 centimeters. And then the eye-to-eye length on these the eye-to-eye of where your bolts will mount your reservoir onto the frame is 40 millimeters. The only other thing to watch out for is these here can sometimes be longer. You can get them longer and shorter. This one here is, as you can see, it's got an adjustment, so you can adjust it a bit more. But yeah, the total length there is about 50 millimeters. But like I say, you can get different length ones. But luckily, yeah, just make an adjustment, it should be fine. Next one we're going to talk about is the front brake. And because obviously your front brake is 70% of your braking power, you need a couple more pistons. So this is known as a dual piston front brake caliper. It's good for racing, and yeah, it's just a good all round brake system. Same brand again, as you can see, it's got the wee HSK brand there. So the length of this cable, like I say, it's really difficult for me to measure in the video because it's so long. What we measured it at was 1180 length of the cable, and yeah, it fits a 7/8 bar. But the most important measurement that you're going to need to know on this one is the eye-to-eye of these bolts, which is 51 millimeters, which is eye-to-eye. The other thing to note is the dual pistons all use a 6mm bolt rather than the single piston, which actually uses a bigger 8mm bolt. So just make sure you check your forks, and you make sure that it's 51 millimeters there, and there's the right hole for the 6mm bolt. So yeah, that's your dual piston fronts. The next one we have here, this is your basic brake, which you'll get on like your TSB 125s. It's just a single piston, not designed for racing. It's just good for sort of mucking around and having a bit of fun. But yeah, still a good brake system. And as you can see, it's got uses the bigger 8mm bolts. Also, the eye-to-eye is different. It's actually yeah, 40 millimeters, and yeah, the length of the cable is actually shorter because generally the bikes that use a single pistons normally don't have the big wheels and the long forks. So the length of the cable is about 850 millimeters. last of all we have here is this is for a TSK 50s, which is for kids. So it's actually, as you can see, it's got the 15mm axle here, but it's got a front brake lever on the front, so you're probably wondering what is going on. But for kids, we actually put the brake lever on the handlebars rather than down by the foot. This is to make it easier for them to learn to ride. So it's a really good idea. And yeah, if your TSK 50 models have this set up on them. And the length of this cable is 1200 millimeters. Like I say, it's quite hard for me to do, but yes, we've already measured it, so it's 1200 millimeters. And your 15mm axle for the back, single piston. Yeah, there's probably not much else to really say on that brake system. And that's probably the end of our video, so I hope to help you guys out. And thanks for watching.